Hello, Capricorn. This is Michelle, and I'm here to do your October 2021 tarot reading. We're using a reproduction deck by Omenagello. This deck, created by Giovanni Vacchetta, is from the late 19th century. It's a very colorful deck, so we should have some fun with this. And also, I'm going to bring in some daily crystal inspiration cards for you by Heather Akinosi. And we're going to get actually right into the reading, and right off the bat, we have the Knight of Cups coming in. Of course, one of my very favorite cards in any deck, any tarot deck. So that's a beautiful, beautiful opening. Let's continue on. We have the Hierophant. Okay, interesting. Major Arcana. Let's continue on. We are going to do Rose, which is a little bit different for me, but I think it's going to work nicely with this deck. Now, this is the King of Batons, or King of Wands, we might say. Let's continue on. This is for the sign of Capricorn in the month of October. It's the Two of Spades, or we might say swords. All right, one more card for this initial first row, and here it is for you, Capricorn. And it's the Hermit, okay? That's interesting to see. That card typically represents Virgo from the Major Arcana. Let's just take a look at this. I have to say, what's coming through initially is a very strong spiritual, actually, a spiritual reading. This looks like somebody of a spiritual nature. I mean, it could actually be a pastor of some sort, or a priest, or somebody with some spiritual authority or knowledge. I mean, really, literally, I'm seeing that in this, and I am seeing that this person is in a position to console you or advise you. I am hearing consolations, though, so to bring you some messages of peace and comfort regarding any sort of difficulties that you might be going through at this time. I am also sensing that you yourself might go on a retreat of some sort. It could be even just like in your own home, like meditation, or taking some time out to reflect spiritually, or to study spiritually based texts, or philosophy. It could also be something along those lines. And I feel that this is suggesting to me that you're enriching yourself in ways that go beyond the material, and touch on uh, things of value that are not concrete. It has more to do with the metaphysical world. Now, this is interesting because a lot of my readings are very like practical. They're financial. They're about business, family life, things of those natures. So to get this strong of a lineup and sensation on spirituality is, well, it's beautiful to see. And it's not something that happens every single day, with every sign anyway. Now we have the Ace of Batons coming in, this really crazy, almost like a Joker kind of image. And all right, this is for the sign of Capricorn. Oh, now this is interesting. It's the Five of Batons, And it's just a very beautiful card. It's like wind chimes almost. We might think of it that way, like wind chimes. The Fool coming in right in the center there of the reading. And of course, all right, the Knight of Swords has appeared in every single reading this month so far, and we're getting towards the end of the zodiac here. Now, interestingly, if you've been watching my readings the last few months, you'll recall that with the Terracino Bolognese, I was also pulling the Knight of Swords repeatedly, and that's another Il Meneghello deck. But this time it's even showing up more strongly. So now the reason I stopped to kind of get into that detail is what's becoming apparent is that there's a message coming through from this deck, and I feel it's like the deck is speaking, or spirit guides are speaking through this deck. Certain particular spirit guides I feel are speaking through this deck and have a message for us. Okay, let's continue on. Three of Spades, okay, or Three of Swords. I'm going to connect this to this idea of spirituality and this new learning. I feel like the experiences of the past, year and a half, 2 years. I'm seeing that, of course, because so much has changed in the world over the past year and a half or so. I feel that these experiences have uh, created almost like a new mindset for you, a new understanding about life, what's important to you, and what you want to be passionate about. And I feel that this is a big change. With the Fool coming in, we might say that this new mindset or understanding, again, has more to do with the non material aspects of life. So, understanding what is of value that you can't put a price on: friendship, love, health, family. These kinds of things we just cannot put a price on. And I want to say that it looks like it has not been entirely easy going through this process. This is I'm going to say, even profound mental development. And I feel with the Knight of Spades coming in, it is suggesting to have strength as you go through this process of formation. All right, now that's an interesting word to hear. A process of formation, which suggests almost like a spiritual, like an ordination almost. It's like being ordained, being formed, newly formed into a more elevated spiritual state. That is what I am picking up from this. Okay, now we are going to do one last row from the tarot, and we have the World coming in with the fixed signs all around the four corners. All right, let's continue on. And we have Judgment. Okay, that's now becoming really fascinating, because it really ties in with what we have been looking at and the Eight of Cups. Okay, could not ask for more. I have pulled that Eight of Cups more times than not over these past readings for this month of October. Okay, so we're going to go with two more cards for the sign of Capricorn, and it is the Magician. Okay, goodness gracious, what a powerful final row. And let's see, we have one more card. One more card for Capricorn, and it is the Seven of Spades, or Seven of Swords. And boy, that really puts a capstone on this whole entire reading. That seven. So I feel that your experiences, Capricorn, have brought you to a place where you are potentially thinking about almost like your legacy, I want to say. It's like, what do I want to leave behind in terms of my legacy, but not so much in a material sense. It might be, for example, how people will remember me, or just what I will think about myself, even. What will I think about myself when I get to towards the end of my journey? I can see you thinking about that, and that also plays a part in this formation. I feel that the beauty of this entire process is that it brings you to a place of much greater and longer lasting fulfillment. I want to say with this Eight of Cups, actually, I think that some of you out there have found a new sense or newfound faith. For some of you, this faith is lighting a fire inside of you. For some of you, you can have that kind of experience, and that it is bringing a new sense of purpose to life. It's magical, okay? It is magical in the most positive sense of the word. And you know, the Magician in the esoteric texts is about the connection between heaven and earth, right? And so we see the connection here with the rod pointed upward and the hand pointed upward and the hand pointing down. As above, so below. These are profound spiritual truths. And it feels to me like you are coming to this kind of spiritual knowledge. And so the Seven of Swords, Spades, representing great spiritual knowledge. Something interesting about this reading is that it has been consistent from beginning to end in terms of its message. And, so either you're resonating with that, right, or not, in which case you might try your rising or your moon sign or something along those lines. But if you are resonating with this reading, it's not like we are all over the place and talking about a whole bunch of different scenarios, settings, different elements of life. This is really focused on spiritual formation, and it's very profound. I think it's just it's very beautiful to see. Okay, now we're going to pick three of these daily crystal cards. This is Ocean Jasper. All right, and I'm going to read the message in just a minute there. We'll look at that a little bit more closely in just a minute. Okay, this is the second card. Lepidolite. Okay, beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's do one more card for for Capricorn. One more card for Capricorn, and we're going to go with this one. Hematite. Okay, just love that. Okay, hematite. What a beautiful message. Okay, let's take a look at the three crystals, and we'll see how they tie in. My goodness. Okay, well, it's all just if you needed any advice about how to go about doing this, these are the three cards for you. A is schedule yourself in. So, I mean, what you are going through requires, I think, some personal and private time for yourself. This is about putting yourself first in some ways. I think that spiritual formation always, in the long run, ends up benefiting others or serving others or loving others in some way. There's a connection to that. But at this point in the process, this is really saying it's okay to work on yourself, your own knowledge, and your own development. And so to schedule that time to recall your dreams. I am hearing that your dreams are sacred. Your dreams are sacred and precious. And some of the work that you do might go back to that, some earlier calling, something that perhaps was a seed that was planted in you very early in life and perhaps is coming out into the light at this time. Okay, so for some of you, it can be that kind of experience that is also ties to spirituality. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to do spiritual work, although some of you may do specifically spiritual work. But any dream that you do, any dream that you have, passion, talent that you have, that is coming forth at this time, that is a spiritual life path, whatever that is. As you are going through this process, the crystal cards are saying to ground yourself, so necessary for this kind of development. And this can be done in so many ways. But there are numerous techniques, but is really getting in contact with this planet, visualizing that contact here. Because when we are doing such this type of spiritual work, and we are so in touch with this metaphysical realm, it's also very important that we stay connected to the planet. That is how we do our best work. All right, Capricorn, that is your reading for October 2021. My goodness. Thank you so much for being here. It is a pleasure and a privilege to read for you as always. And I'll see you next time.